Okay, welcome to my first feature of 2021. We have Poppy Jamie, and it's a delight to have you on, Poppy. First interview of 2021.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. Great to chat to you.
And I've heard a lot about you for your work through Forbes magazine and also getting recognition from a former Prime Minister as well. So that's really good stuff. And we're here today to talk about how to keep active and busy during lockdown number three.
Lockdown number three, the lockdown that feels like it's never ending.
Yes, and I've got on my notes here. I going to ask you: is now the perfect time to get creative with people having more time on their hands? Do you think?
Yes, I think, look, at this moment in time, everyone is finding it really tough. And the days are shorter and it feels like it is a little bit never ending. But the good thing about all of this is we are really resilient and we can start to use this as a massive like fun opportunity if we can reframe it to include some stuff in our day that maybe we wouldn't have done before. So getting active is one of the main things. And what I have been telling a lot of people I've been speaking to is, can you arrange a little dance party in the morning, a dance party over coffee for a couple of minutes, whacking your favorite tunes on, or when your favorite radio station plays, like this one, plays your favorite song, just getting up and moving. And I am no dancer. I look like a chicken when I dance, but that doesn't matter. It's about trying to include these moments of fun where we get our happiness hormones flowing, and it just gives us that mood boost that we need to get through the day.
Awesome. And other ways to keep busy. A lot of people doing at the moment is home improvement DIY as well to keep occupied.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, it's one of those things I think when we're working from home, like that thing which we could ignore, last year. We're like, oh, whatever, I'll do that at the weekend, and the weekend comes, and you're like, I'll do next weekend, and that weekend comes, and you don't do it. But now we're just stuck at home. We're like, no, no, I really need to do it. And again, often before the pandemic came, I do think we were living crazy busy lives. We had no time to explore, find new things. We jam packed our schedule, and actually, these lockdowns have shown us one thing. Well, what would you do if you had more time to yourself? And some of the stories are amazing. Some people are, starting to learn a language. Another person I've heard is getting into running, and they hated running before. And another person's learning how to cook. There are kind of things that we can do that maybe we wouldn't have done before.
Sure. And I put my cooking skills to the test last night. I'm not a great cook, but I done a bit of spaghetti bolognese, with garlic bread. So it's amazing if you put if you put your mind to something, it's virtually anything's achievable, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And, I spent the last 5 years working with neuroscientists and mental health experts to look into, what's the science behind the things that we can do to make us feel better. And it is really proven, like making sure that you have a bit of fun is so important to keeping your mental health in check.
Good stuff. And motivation, dedication, is that pivotal in keeping whatever interest or field you are in, keep it going?
100%. I mean, if we want to change anything, nothing changes overnight. And I think that's really important just to set our expectations because often, we can go for one run and then be surprised why we're not an Olympic athlete. And, our mental wellness is the same thing. Often, let's say you want to start meditation and you do it once, you're like, oh, that was difficult. Oh, made no difference. But actually, the dedication to just keep going, you've got to, when you're setting any new habit, and I know a lot of people have set New Year's resolutions and stuff like that. It is all about the dedication just to keep going every single day. Everything can change if you do it enough times.
Thank you. And I'm going on to another kind of element of this interview. When you put something in your phone, how come writing something down on paper or in your diary or something on the calendar, it kind of makes you feel better than it does when you actually put it in your phone? Is there
Yeah,
a psychology behind that?
Well, so one tool I like to give people if they are struggling to get to sleep, and when you are feeling a bit stressed, often when you try to go to sleep, that is when your thought, worry gremlins come out to play and they start dancing around your mind, reminding you of all the things you should have done, or like, oh God, have I got enough shopping in, or all the rest of it. And actually, keeping a pad of paper and pencil by your bed is just brilliant in terms of A, writing down the things that you need to do the next day, and B, writing down the things that got that went well that day. And that helps you for two reasons. One, when you start writing a list of what you should do the next day, what it does, it helps your brain switch off. It helps your brain to say, yep, I've thought about that, you don't need to remind me of that, thank you, thought gremlin. And then when you write down things that went well that day, what you're doing is you forcing your brain to think of positive things. And a science study showed that when we go to bed with more positive thoughts, we sleep longer, better quality sleep, and we get to sleep quicker. And so that is why it's just unbelievable. These small little tricks are phenomenal.
Thank you. And I've just got a few thoughts here to do with enhancing your sleep. Is a glass of water good for you to nod off, so to speak, just before you go to bed?
You know,
Yeah.
I have to say I haven't read and I don't know enough about a glass of water. I haven't heard a glass of water helps you go to sleep, but it, as I said, different things help different people. So making sure that you're not, dehydrated could be an excellent thing. On the whole, we don't drink enough water. So actually using times of the day to make sure that you are drinking water is great. If you're someone that gets up lots of times in the middle of the night because you need the loo, maybe drinking a glass of water probably isn't the best thing before bed. So I like to think with all this mental wellness and kind of, active advice that people are receiving, make sure you have a filter. Like what works for me, what doesn't work for me. And some tools you're gonna go, yeah, that's really gonna hit the mark for me. And there's gonna be other things you hear, you're like, actually, that's not for me. So I think that's really important to like make sure we personalize the advice we're being given.
And finally, what can you tell me about living in the moment and the laws of attraction? How powerful are
Oh,
they?
I love this. I love this. Well, the law of attraction is it sometimes can get a bit convoluted. I think people can talk about this and it get feel quite confusing. But really, if you go back to basics, do you like to spend time with people who are upbeat, who kind of want looking for a fun time, like make you feel positive, or do you want to spend time with people who are moaning, who make you feel bad about yourself? No, you are will you'll gravitate to the people that make you feel good. And that's kind of the same thing with everything in life. If you're that person like putting out the good vibes, it's amazing how suddenly you're attracting better vibes in. And some of the science behind why this works is, let's say you just bought a red car, you will notice more red cars on the road, won't you? And the law of attraction kind of works in a similar way. If you are looking for the good things in your life, you'll start to notice more of them. So you'll start to notice opportunities that you could take. Well, and that's the difference between if you are only noticing the negative, oh, this always happens to me, you're only noticing the things that can stress you out, you start to notice more things that will stress you out. So just remember, like the law of attraction is purely like buying a red car. What are you telling your brain to focus
Yeah.
on? And there's a great quote, what you focus on gets louder. And that is the law of attraction. So it's a really great tool to keep your mind in check. What are the things you're looking out for? Because that is what you'll see more of.
And just wrapping up now, and when people say, I think something bad's going to happen, is that kind of being in the mindset of tempting fate? On the flip side, thinking positive thoughts and kind of being optimistic about something.
Yeah, it's that same thing where if you say, "Oh, something bad's going to happen," what you're doing in that moment is you're training your brain to look for what could go wrong. Whereas if you go, "Oh, this is going to work out for me," suddenly you're completely shifted focus on what could go well, and you can just feel it in your body. Like if you just take a moment now and you say to yourself, "Oh, that's going to go wrong," and suddenly you kind of feel your shoulders kind of cave in and you feel a bit like you almost like makes you worry a bit even saying that. But if you say to yourself, things are going to go really well for me today, suddenly actually you might notice a micro shift. Your shoulders relax a little, you're a bit more open, and it completely changes how you feel, your energy. So I'd be very, very careful with what you say to yourself, because it completely changes the way even your body reacts.
Yeah. And in a negative scenario, you can always turn that minus into a positive.
So sorry, say that
Yeah,
again.
in a negative scenario, there is always a way to turn that negative into a positive.
Oh my gosh, always. And my book is very much about a method to help you do that. And one question I love to give people is, rather than say, why does this always happen to me? Swap that for, what can I learn from this? And it's such a shift. And actually, it gives you different answers. Ask better questions, get better answers. Ask bad questions, you get bad
Yeah.
answers. And it's so true. Like, what can I learn from this? So often, throughout this pandemic, I think all of us have had many moments where we're like, why is this happening to me? And actually, what can I learn from this? Okay, I do not have a balanced life. I've been organizing my life in a way that isn't making me happy. I am giving attention to things that I shouldn't do. And suddenly you're getting all this information about yourself, which is really
Yeah,
helpful.
thank you very much. Crucial advice there. And finally, breathing as well. Any tips on breathing? When you're outside and you take a deep breath, you just feel good, don't you?
You know what? I'm going to tell you the best tool that I've ever been taught, and it's called the magic of the belly breath. So I want you right now to give me a big inhale and
Okay.
exhale. And exhale. Okay. Did you feel yourself go up on the inhale and down on the exhale?
Yeah, so I kind of like felt every kind of breath of it, every second of that inhale, exhale.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you a way to breathe even more effectively. Because when we move our shoulders up and down, that's actually can cause sometimes greater stress. Because where are your breathing muscles?
In the kind of like stomach area, abdomen,
Right. So why do we move our shoulders up and down if our breathing muscles are in our
is
belly?
it kind of to structure the body? Kind of make
No,
it. No.
there's absolutely no
Oh,
reason whatsoever we should be moving our shoulders
yeah,
up and down. So actually, what we're going to do is we're going to relax our shoulders down
yeah,
this time. And we are going to, on this next inhale, we're going to inhale into our belly and feel like a balloon is expanding inside, as if like almost returning to pregnancy, like our belly goes out. And then on the exhale, our belly's going to relax and move towards the spine. So let's do that all together. Let's inhale into the belly, feel a balloon expanding inside, pregnant belly, and exhale. Belly moves towards the spine as our stomach relaxes. Let's do that again. Relax our shoulders down and inhale into the belly. Inhale some more. Pregnant belly, balloon expands inside, and exhale. Belly moves towards the spine. One more time for luck. Relax our shoulders down. Let's inhale into the belly. Continue to inhale into the belly. Pregnant belly, and exhale. Relax the belly as the belly moves towards the spine. And now breathe normally. Did you notice the difference?
yes. Total difference there between the first breath. What I done.
And the second breath.
Yeah.
And that second breath, one belly breath, is the equivalent of 6 chest breaths. It is a really efficient way. It brings in so much more oxygen. It gets rid of so much more carbon dioxide. It helps release stress from any part of your body. And it's fantastic to do if you are struggling to get to sleep. Just continue to belly breathe, and I guarantee you'll nod off in no time.
Well, thank you very much for your advice, Papa Jane. Talking about keeping busy, looking after yourself, your well-being, and some crucial tips there on getting a better night's sleep as well, and of course the breathing techniques as well. Absolutely crucial advice, and thank you for sharing your expertise with us.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me.
Great stuff. Take care.